All right, everybody, welcome to the Philadelphia Sports Table Podcast Show, the longest running weekly Philly sports podcast show in the world, over 13 years strong. But I'll tell you, we are not on this PST special podcast going to be diving into any sports. We're not going to be talking about the Eagles. We're not going to be talking about the Phillies, the 76ers, Flyers, or Union. No, this is all about music. So if you wanted to watch and us talking about sports, it's not going to happen at all, because we are going to be going back 20 years to 2006. And we're going to be talking about our top 5 albums from that year. We're going to have a good time on this podcast and this discussion. Joining us here is Edgecombe Stan, who a lot of you know, our good friend Eric Leonard. What's up, buddy?
What's up, dude?
Yes, good to see you. And one of our favorite friends, you can see his name on YouTube as Howard Langston. That's not his name. We have Mark Lacasse, our good friend of the podcast. We've done some shows with him in the past, some movie reviews, and also done some other music podcasts. He is a former guitarist from the band Goaty Hook from 1998?
Yeah, also Puritan, Capital City Dusters,
there you go.
July, Vigil.
Yes. A punk rock star, folks, here.
An icon.
An icon, yes. An icon for sure. So, Mark, thanks for joining us, man.
Oh, thank you guys. Psyched to be here as always.
Yeah.
But for people who aren't Jingle All the Way heads, my name's a reference to Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from that legendary Christmas film. So
a tribute.
Yeah,
exactly. Check out that film right here in the summer as we're starting the summer, and Howard Langston, he's going to provide inspiration and a ton of great stuff for you throughout the summer. All right, well, let's get into our lists here. Again, our top 5 albums from 2006. I think we all have some honorable mentions before we start getting into our top 5. Eric, I'm going to start with you. What are some of your honorable mention albums from 2006?
All right, 5 quick ones. I don't know if you guys have these, but 5 records I really enjoyed then, still do. Skinless, Trample the Weak, Hurdle the Dead.
Ooh.
It's a great record. Never seen them live. Really would like to. I think they're one of the bands that do like the bloody shows, still in the vein of of Gwar, that kind of thing. Not as slimy, but would love to see them someday. Robert Pollard took a break from making 70 Guided by Voices records a year and made a solo one from a Compound Eye. Love that record. Bonnie Prince Billy, The Letting Go is a really good one. Very more than laid back. Almost sounds like he made it in his bed, like laying down. Kind of has the window open, the breeze is going. Celtic Frost had a great record called Monotheist. That's a good record. And out of the UK, Dirty Pretty Things had a record, The Waterloo to Anywhere. Really enjoy that record. It's a good one. Yep.
Okay. Very nice. I like the honorable mentions there. Very notable. I some of them I don't know. I'm gonna have to go take a listen to them. Mark, buddy, what are some of your honorable mentions?
Some of mine, Sonic Youth, Rather Ripped.
Ooh,
that was kind of like number 6. Just barely made the list. I thought that was a return to form for them. They kind of got really experimental. A couple albums before that, this was more like a return to like their late 80s, early 90s, more pop kind of songs.
I might have more on that record later. I'll just say.
Jay Reatard. That's Reatard. Blood Visions. Just really great upbeat tempo garage rock. Just killer. Girl Talk, Night Ripper. This was probably like the first like mashup album. I think mashups really kind of took off after this album came out. It was just really impressive the way they took like all these like random, like they sampled like the band Boston and Manfred Mann's Earth Band and put it with like hip hop, and it was just really creative, really kind of one of its kind when it came out. And then the self-titled album by which is Jay Mascis from Dinosaur Jr. on drums, I forget the guy's real name, but he goes under the moniker King Tough. He was the singer guitar player.
Yep.
Just really, really good kind of stoner rock, like mid-tempo stoner kind of stuff.
All very nice.
Yeah,
all right. Very nice. I'm gonna have to look up some of those also. Some of those not 100% on those. My honorable mentions before we start getting into our top 5. And I hope this isn't on anybody's list, but Christ Illusion by Slayer. Eric, would that happen to be maybe on your top 5 list?
No, it wasn't my favorite record by them, but
no,
I do like it.
It wasn't. But like, I remember when that came out, that was the return of Dave Lombardo, who just really helped to give Slayer, of course, their unique sound, Fleshstorm, Jihad, Cult, few songs from that album that I think were absolutely fantastic. Just ferocious drumming. And I liked it so much just because it was Dave Lombardo coming back into the fold.
Well, and do you remember they released it on 666?
Oh, they did.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Yes.
Of course they did.
Yes.
Next one is the band Himsa, Hail Horror. It was an album where they just really embraced that metallic sound and just that blend of aggression, melody, thrash influences, and just a lot of melodic death metal. I really, really dug that album. And then finally, and I'm sure that I'm going to be made fun of for this, but I loved the album. It was the band live, and it was songs from Black Mountain. Genuinely, everybody knows Throwing Copper, everybody knows Secret Samadhi, all that crap and stuff. But the melodies in this album were just exceptional, in my opinion. And it captured, and I think it was because I was engaged. I was just gotten engaged, and the album was all about optimism, Ed Kowalczyk, and just, he was in that optimistic stage in his life where, whether it was, finding religion, talking about his daughters throughout his albums and stuff like that, just a lot of optimism. So yeah, songs from Black Mountain, I absolutely loved. And I think one of the songs was actually part of our wedding, believe it or not. So yeah.
And they were still optimistic before they all hated each other, right?
Before they hated each other, and before they absolutely went down the toilet from a relationship standpoint. Yes, absolutely. So those are my top honorable mentions. And a lot more albums we could have put on. My God, there were a decent amount of good 2006 albums that were out there that we could have put on our list. So, Mark, I'm going to start with you. Let's go. Why don't we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Your fifth. What is it, Mark?
All right. So number 5 for me is Broken Boy Soldiers by the Raconteurs. So most people probably know who they are, but if not, it's a super group with Jack White from the White Stripes, Brendan Benson, who's like a singer-songwriter, kind of does stuff in the more like Beatles, Kinks kind of inspired manner. And then 2 members from this 60s garage rock inspired band called the Greenhorns. I guess they're all buddies. They all lived in Detroit. They're all buddies there, and decided to just kind of put some music together. I think it was mainly Jack and Brendan, and then they got these other 2 guys involved. It was released on Jack's label, Third Man Records. And at the time, there was a radio station here in Southern California called Indie 103, and they played a lot of just really great, more like under the radar alternative rock that you wouldn't really hear on mainstream radio. And they played Steady As She Goes, the lead single from this album, a lot. And I thought, and I wasn't a huge White Stripes fan back then, but something about the song just really caught my ear. It was really catchy melody. And
I'm with you, by the way, because I was never really a fan of them. That song was just, like you said, that it wasn't just like the melody and the hook too. Like you and I are music nerds when it comes to like tones and things like that. It had a really great tone. Like the guitar tones were great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sorry that I interrupted you. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. So yeah, I checked out the rest of the record, and I haven't listened to it in a long time, but as I was going through the albums that I listened to the most that year, that was definitely one of them. And it was a good reminder of how great the record is. Just really, really strong songwriting. I think for Jack, it allowed him to experiment more than he was able to with the White Stripes. Just, having more instrumentation and really kind of digging more into like other elements of 60s music. And then for Brendan Benson, like he got to rock a little bit harder than he normally does with his regular music. Just really, really solid record.
It is. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric,
it's a really good record. But just real quick, like he was so hamstrung with like the garage rock thing with the White Stripes. I mean, their last few records, it was way more experimental because I think he was just sick of that music, just doing it on and on. And you could definitely hear with the Raconteurs, he was like, I got to do something different. My God. Like
he needed to get out of his shell. Yeah. He needed to get out of his shell.
And you're right. It's the second you hear Steady She Goes, that down, it's just way more fun. Like it's like a real pop song. Whereas he wrote pop songs, but it was always had one foot in that garage rock scene. This was way more. And then I really like that band, the Dead Weather, that he later joined after with one of the guys from the Raconteurs, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's a good record.
Eric, what's your number 5 album from 2006?
I'm just going to do it. Mark brought it up. Rather Rip by Sonic Youth.
All right.
He's absolutely right. I saw them on this tour, and it was such a nice surprise after the 2 previous times I saw them, which was just extremely disappointing. I think on the show we talked about our worst shows, and seeing them in 98, right before I graduated college up at State. I saw them at Penn State, and it was one of those Sonic Youth shows where, like, we're just going to jam. It's going to freeform jam for 20 minutes, one song, 20 minutes the next, not sing for half of it. And you're just like,
right.
I love you guys, but come on, man, give me a song, give me a 3-minute, just give me.
I know, if you wanted that, you go see Fish.
I was just going to say, why don't you go see Fish? Yes.
I did. It was the worst show of my life. It was awful. But this was like, he's right. It was a return to like just writing 3.5-minute songs. The opening guitar riff of Rena, it's just jangly and fun. And then it goes right into Incinerate, Do You Believe in Rapture, Sleeping Around, What a Waste. Like what a phenomenal first 5 songs on their record. And one of the most beautiful songs, the Neutrals on that album. And I like Kim's voice is so beautiful in that song. And I really think it's some of Lee Ranaldo's best work, in my opinion, just because it's not as experimental, but like it's just great pop song guitar writing. And the whole record is what's this, not edible, but like swallowable. Like it's an album that, like, it's still Sonic Youth, but I could hand it to like my kids and be like, this is what Sonic Youth is like. And then maybe they'll get into like the more experimental stuff later on. I just think it's like, it was the direction they kind of had to go in after they were really experimenting and kind of pissing off fans like me a little bit. Like, I know we all love to see a band like, I don't want to hear just the record. And it's like, but they took it to another level. I was like, oh man, I'm never going to go see them again. This sucks. But this record brought me back to them. And like, I've been in since. So
does it seem that there are so many bands, so many that hit this mainstream trajectory, and they're just tired of what they're doing, and they're just like, we got to experiment with something else, not just for the sake of it, but they want to experiment because they are just tired of the elements within the realm that they have been writing, performing, and they just need something new. And of course, we can all look at what Metallica did with their career, and not that they necessarily got back to it, but I will say 72 Seasons, not a bad album at all. I'm serious. From a Metallica standpoint, it's not a bad album at all. And they got back to a lot of thrash-based elements. I'm not saying it was Ride the Lightning by any stretch, but like they got back to certain elements, and it's like, okay, yeah, they've really moved on from the load and reload area. But I just think that there are so many artists that they're on that mainstream trajectory, and they're tired of it. They're tired of writing for it. And they just try to experiment with stuff. And so what you're talking about here, Eric, like it just happens to so many artists.
Yeah. And if they had to do it to get to this record, then it was worth it, you know, because it really is it's just a great, like, it's just a great pop record for Sonic Youth fans. Like it's not guided by voices or anything.
Right.
But can I just say, I was watching Metal Mayhem the other day.
Oh, what a
VH1
great
Classic.
documentary! I
No,
fucking love it, man.
Like the VH1 Classic used to have like 2 hours
Yeah.
of just metal
Oh, yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
Not the documentary.
I thought you meant the documentary. Okay.
No, and I saw the video for Whiskey in a Jar, the Metallica cover.
Oh, fucking horrendous!
Oh my god,
that's the black and white one, right? It's like
Yeah,
the black and white, and they're like cowboys or some shit, right?
Yes, it's terrible. Oh my,
it is.
And it made me think, like, how do they survive this? This is so bad.
Or no, I was thinking Hero of the Day. I think I was thinking Hero of the Day.
It might have been Hero of the Day, but either way, I was just like, this sucks. It was Hero of the Day. It was terrible. I'm like, how do they get out of this? Like, it's so bad.
Yes.
I think the worst was when they first like all cut their hair and started wearing makeup and stuff, and they did that video for Until It Sleeps, and you're like,
oh yeah,
what the fuck is this shit?
Off of Load, yes.
Yeah. Load was a great name for that album.
Yeah,
shit. Yes.
Kirk Hammett really ate that video up. It was a lot of like this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So cringe.
Oh my god, so cringe.
I remember when James was in the camera going.
But that's all he did, because he was. I don't think he was super into it. I think he was just like, I'll go on for the ride. Yeah. He's like, all right, what do I do? Like, that's all he had.
All right, well, let's move on to my number 5 album from 2006. For me, it's Angels and Airwaves. We Don't Need to Whisper. It's got the theme song of that album is The Adventure. And if you don't know who Angels and Airwaves are, it was a band that was formed after Blink-182 decided to go on a hiatus. Tom DeLonge formed this band. And I remember like hearing about this album that was going to be coming out. And it's like, I'm not the biggest Blink-182 fan. And it was just something I thought that was completely different. It just, there was this unprecedented level of hype based on what Blink-182 was. And it certainly wasn't Blink-182. It was just atmospheric. It was like very like emotional in a way. Again, the song, The Adventure, It Hurts, The War, Start the Machine, just layers of guitar, synthesizers, just ambient textures throughout. It was this weird, like, I'm not going to say it was like shoegaze music by any stretch, but it kind of reminded me and had certain elements of like shoegaze music, but alternative rock kind of mixed with this emo driven type of feel to it, where I can still listen to that album this day. And I still listen to The Adventure. Do you guys know what that song is at all?
I think I've heard it.
Okay.
Is this their debut album?
Yeah, it was their first album.
I'm not for sure heard it,
like I said, there was so much hype with this album. I remember for some reason, I'm like, oh man, if it's like Blink-182-ish, this is really going to be like whatever. Because I always did like Tom DeLonge. I did, because I thought that he just had such a raw sound. Again, going back to what I was saying earlier, Mark, like with tones, like his guitar tone, I always liked. And just this ambient, emotional type of synth with just pure rock sound was something that still to this day, I still love that album. It's a fantastic album, and it's actual musicianship, completely different than Blink-182 in my opinion. So it's like it's a great album. So that's my number 5.
Yeah, I remember when that album came out, I didn't know the name of the song, but I definitely heard like their debut song, and I thought, well, this is a lot better than Blink-182, or at least it's more along the lines of like what I would listen to by choice. Yeah. And then I learned that Adam Willard from Rocket from the Crypt played drums on it, and that kind of made me like it even more.
Yeah, the great album. You should, if you're listening to this, go check it out. It's a great one, as well as the albums that Mark and Eric just talked about as well. So let's move on to number 4 here. Mark, what's your number 4 album from 2006?
All right, number 4 is Everything All the Time by Band of Horses. So I was listening to a lot of indie rock around this time. That channel that I mentioned earlier was part of the reason, and just where my life was at the time. And this one just really caught my ear. It was just really, really catchy with like vocals, lush reverb drenched atmospheric production. It very reminiscent of early My Morning Jacket, which I've talked about in our music podcast before.
Yeah,
that I love. maybe some Neil Young elements. They were on Sub Pop. They were from Seattle, but then they moved to North Carolina shortly after this record came out. They had a hit single with The Funeral. That kind of got them some fame at the time, and then they quickly instantly hated playing it, and there was some controversy where somebody was filming the singer playing that song and then he flipped off the camera, and that became a thing at the time. But yeah, I think the record still holds up. It's just really moody kind of album. The singing style is unique. The way that he says certain words or phrases things is unusual. Yeah, that's my number 4.
Nice.
He almost sounds like a ghost sometimes. Wait, the way he sings, I feel like.
How do you mean?
I'm not doing it. I knew Jeff would do it. So.
All right, that's a great segue, I guess. Maybe it's not to Eric.
No, I saw them live. I saw him live in New Orleans like years ago, and it was really quiet. It was a huge event. It was a music fest. There were tons of people there. They're one of the closing bands, and his voice just kind of like wrote itself over the crowd. It was kind of like, no, it was just, I don't know. It just felt like that. I don't know why. That was the one thing I remember about their live show was like, everyone was kind of quiet. His voice just kind of took over the crowd, and it was almost ghost-like kind of thing.
Yeah. I see what you mean now.
Yeah. Not Casper, the weird ghost thing he just did, like
Slimer.
Yeah, he has a lot of reverb on his voice, so and if it's a cavernous hall where you saw them, that completely makes sense.
It really traveled. Yeah.
All right, Eric, what's your number 4 here?
All right, this has nothing to do with the Band of Horses. This is a very different number 4. Clipse, Hell Hath No Fury is one of my favorite hip hop records of the past 20 years. Great album title, great album cover, and such a killer follow-up to Lord Willin' that came out 4 years earlier. They waited 4 years to make this next record, and like just does not disappoint. We got it for cheap. Mom, I'm so sorry. Mr. Me Too. Keys Open Doors. Pharrell Williams produced it, and he could be a giant douche. I mean, I think we all agree. But when he's simply behind the production board, that guy just makes some of the best, most unique beats in hip hop the past like 25 years, in my opinion. And especially for Clipse, like their beats are so unique, like way more in the vein of like Jay Dilla and like, you know, Mad Villain, who did a lot of the MF Doom stuff. And what they rap about is there's just complete honesty about their lives, whether it's like their time dealing drugs when they were younger, or just the truth about other rappers and just how much better they are. Like the way they rap, like, they took the diss track mantle owned by like KRS-One and Kool Moe Dee in the late 70s, early 80s, and just ran with it. Like they're the kings of like, you suck, I'm better than you. I make money, you don't. But not in that obnoxious like Jay-Z kind of like mainstream mid 2000s way. It's way more underground. It's honestly like punk rock hip hop. It really was the alternative to mainstream rap, much like MF Doom was. And 20 years later, they just put out Let God Sort Him Out, you know, and it might be their best record. So like, what a cool band, like what a cool group. Like they've been doing this for how long? And I think they just put out their best record, but Hell Hath No Fury was such an awesome bridge to like their next stuff. Cause like Lord Willin' was so stripped down. Like, I mean, you ever see the cover? It looks like a spray, like you never go to the mall and they have like those t-shirts that are like spray painted.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the album cover is. And this one's just them sitting on like an old oven, but like, it was
an old oven, right? Like a white old oven from like the 50s or something like that.
Yeah, it's such a great record, and it's one of my favorite hip hop albums of the past 20 years.
Didn't they a while ago? Didn't they like reunite and do a guest appearance with like Kenny G or something like that?
Yeah, they played the Vatican.
Am I
this past year? Like it's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they played the Vatican. Like,
well, I don't know. Did they? I don't think that's what I was thinking about, but I think they did something.
They also played
like
with Kenny G.
Kanye. Yeah, like Kanye and Kenny G from like maybe 6 years ago or something.
They don't mess with Kanye anymore. If you listen to
they don't.
Yeah, like, they're pretty much like, whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they take down Travis Scott in this new record, and they have Kendrick Lamar, who has a lot to owe to these guys, is on the new album too. Like he definitely is taking a page from them, and like that production style, and even the rapping style. Like so they're hugely influential as well.
Yeah. I remember one of the guys sitting on the old 1950s oven, just being like, all right.
Yeah, that's
on that old oven.
That's Malice, and then Pusha T's standing behind it. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Good record.
Well, guys, we're going to get to the portion of the show here where everybody makes fun of me because my number 4.
You know what's coming.
It's going to be the band Tool, 10,000 Days, baby. Come on, get it out. Come on.
Is that how long it took? Is that how long it took to make the record?
I knew that was coming.
Listen to it. It feels like it's 10,000 hours.
Oh, God. Yes, I knew that was coming, too. Yes. It is. I mean, when it came out. All right, so I think their most popular albums, of course, before 10,000 Days were, of course, Anima, Lateralus. Great albums for sure. This one, though, because you guys know I'm a Tool fan. If you're just happen to listen to the show, and we've done music podcasts in the past, and we've done 20 when we went back 20 years. Tool would be on my list. I've always loved Maynard James Keenan. I've always loved this band. Every member of the band, I think, has their own unique style. But with this one, like Maynard, he kind of brings out more personal subject matters because he was always about philosophy, psychology, personal transformation, that type of stuff. But this one was more just about like reflecting on grief, faith, morality, and it was at a turning point in my life. Like 2006 was just a huge turning point for me. Again, like I told you before, I was getting engaged to somebody who I just loved forever, basically. And just the transformational aspects of what this album was. And if you don't know what 10,000 Days means, a lot of the songs were written about Maynard's mother, who lived with paralysis for roughly 10,000 days for about 27 years following a stroke. So a lot of the album was dedicated to her, but I just like all their albums. It's a journey. And laughs and Mark laughs. It's a journey, and I always love the musicianship. Again, I know you're making fun of me. It's totally cool. I get it, and let it. Come on, bring it. It's all good. Come on.
It's like a journey from West Texas to California. It's like a whole lot of nothing.
Oh, God. Oh, a lot of flat land.
Listen, I don't appreciate what you did there. You made it personal, and you made it sad with Maynard's mom. So, like, so we're not allowed to make fun of you now.
Yes,
that's bullshit. I'm still going to make fun of you.
Yes.
Are any songs about exploring your mind?
Or winemaking?
The pot.
That's true.
All right. That's you got any more? Go on.
No, I just in fairness to Jeff, I wanted to say that I did listen to that while I skimmed through it the other day because I knew it was going to come up, and I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It was not as boring as I remembered it being when I first heard it.
The second song, Jambi, is probably my favorite one off the album, actually. I like from a musicianship standpoint, and like when they go into the breakdown, like the heavy part, it's like there's like something there.
Was that about the genie from Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Yes. I should have realized that was coming.
By the way, Mark, was David Frick's review in Rolling Stone? It's not too boring. Is that
Yes. All right, let's get into number 3. Let's get into number 3 now. Mark, what's your number 3 album from 2006?
All right, Jeff, you're going to appreciate this because my number 3 album is from a band from Nazareth, Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's Pearls and Brass. The album is called The Indian Tower. Eric, do you know them?
No.
No? Okay, so
I know Pearls and Brass. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So
I just said I've heard of them. In all honesty, I've heard of them just from being around the area.
Sure,
They're like
yeah.
in the district that I represent on my county council as a county commissioner. So like you get to know the areas, you get to know the history and stuff like that. So I have heard of them, but I honestly don't know if I've actually listened to their stuff.
Gotcha. Well, I highly recommend you do.
All right.
It's Randy Huth from Piss Jeans. He plays bass.
Oh,
He plays bass in Piss Jeans, but he plays guitar and sings in this band.
Okay.
And they were on Drag City Records, same label as Ty Segall, Will Oldham, early Pavement, and they kind of sound like a cross between Queens of the Stone Age and math rock, I guess.
Okay.
Like if you ever listen to the first Queens album, the song Hispanic Impressions, the instrumental, that's kind of like what they sound like.
It's kind of like stoner rock.
Well, yeah, it is straight up like stoner rock, but with a lot of odd time signatures, and it's it's a little bit more busy, more satisfying from a musical perspective, like
kind of like Tool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like Tool. Except not Boris. The vocals are kind of reminiscent of Josh Homme too, maybe mixed with Dax Riggs from Acid Bath, Dead Boy the Elephant Man. But just really great, catchy rock songs. There's a couple of acoustic numbers. Randy is a amazing acoustic player. He does finger style, and he's using like 12 string on one, 6 string on the other, and fantastic record. Check it out.
I gotta check out the music. I have not heard it, but I've like heard of the band just being from this area, so I definitely have to do it.
I just downloaded it. Just one record. That's it. They only made one.
They 2.
Okay.
Yeah, this is their second record.
Okay.
Very good. Eric, what's your number 3 here from 2006?
It's the Black Angels, Passover. Great psych rock, almost shoegaze in spots on the record. Really influenced by the Velvet Underground. I'd say Hendrix, even Spacemen 3. There's a lot of that. Jesus and Mary Chain, and like I said, in some spots. 10 tracks, and all of them are perfect. Like it really is just a perfect psych pop rock record. Young Men Dead, which you've probably heard that one if you don't know the band, because it was in commercials and stuff. Manipulation, Bloodhounds on My Trail, Call to Arms. It's another one of those great records that's actually based on a single topic. It's just based on like the Vietnam War, essentially. I've always liked those, like Leviathan's about Moby Dick, and I have written down Dope Smokers about like smoking tons of weed. So, like there's really not much beyond that, but no, great record.
By the way, my number 3 might actually be getting into that
okay
thing of one. Yeah.
Oh, I think I know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And they still tour to this day. I think they're actually playing Passover right now because it's 20 years ago. And Mark,
they?
You'll enjoy it. They're very much influenced and buddies with and tour with the BJMs and the Dandy Warhols at the same time. They do a lot of like psych fests together, and have played what's the Velvet Underground song? Not Run Run Run, but one of the long jammy tunes. And there's really good footage out there on YouTube of like the Dandies and BJM on the stage together with the Black Angels playing this song. And it just takes me back to my favorite documentary of all time, Dig. So
that's a must see if you haven't seen it.
We could do an hour and a half on Dig alone. It's such a great documentary. It's amazing.
Have you seen it, Jeff?
I have not actually. No.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah,
I gotta watch it.
Yeah. Some plenty of iconic moments in that one.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
The Black Angels are a band that have been on my radar for a long time, and I've heard some of their music and I liked it, but for whatever reason, just never took a deep dive into them. But it sounds like it's time to correct that.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, even the records after that are good, but Passover is like a good intro record for them.
Nice. Cool. I got to check them out for sure. Well, my number 3 goes to what you were just talking about, Eric. basically a concept album. It's a story about a traveler attempting to climb the mythical Blood Mountain in search of a crystal skull. And I am talking about Mastodon's album Blood Mountain. My gosh, along the journey, again, another album where there's a journey, strange creatures, hallucinations, just spiritual challenges, natural dangers. In all honesty, though, the riffs in this fucking album were incredible. I can still go back and listen to it, and it's like, how is Brent playing those fucking riffs at times? The Wolf is Loose, Crystal Skull, Sleeping Giant as well. Those 3 songs, my favorite songs from the album. And I think, again, I just go back to the guitar work on the album. Absolutely extraordinary. I don't know if we've heard anything like that since, because after that, Mastodon albums after that, a little different in terms of their writing, a little different in terms stylistically, you could say, I think. But I mean, I think that was, I don't know, Eric and Mark too. I think that was the pinnacle of Mastodon and what they really did from a musical standpoint. So yeah, Blood Mountain, that's mine.
I always thought Brand Daler kind of stole the show in the early Mastodon records. I mean, he wrote he wrote Leviathan, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And I did scare the hell out of him in Philly. That I've told the story in the show.
Oh yes,
in the bathroom. So, but I really think this is the first record where Brent Hines and Brian Keller's guitar work is like front and center and like the best part of the album. Not taking away from Brand Daler, but like it's a great record. And The Wolf is Loose. Just what an absolutely unhinged opening song. Like, just you know exactly what this record's about. Like,
just get right into it, like bam.
Which they're amazing at. Blood and Thunder on the previous record is a great opener, but The Wolf is Loose is sick. And you know my thoughts on Mastodon, just great band. So
yep, absolutely. All right, let's move to number 2, the number 2 album of 2006. Mark, buddy, go ahead.
All right, for number 2, I'm going to stick in the doom stoner realm. Ooh. It's Age of Winters by The Sword. Mm-hmm. They were a band from Austin, Texas. They were on Kamado. It's spelled Kemado. I'm not sure how to pronounce it exactly. Records. And it was a great label in the 2000s. Put out bands like Dungan, Saviors, Marissa Nadler. Really great metal psych label. The Sword, their album just really hit me at the time. It reminded me a lot of the album by Sleep called Sleep's Holy Mountain, if it were more upbeat and rocking, I guess. Mm-hmm. But a lot of similarities as far as like the style of riffs, and even the singing is kind of sounds a little bit like Al from Sleep, maybe mixed with Ozzy. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of redundant since Al's clearly influenced by Ozzy too, but but just, I don't know, it just really hit me, really catchy riffs. I listened to it a lot at the time. I haven't listened to it in a while, but when I came back to it, I was like, oh yeah, this was solid. Lyrics about various fantasy topics. They were kind of taking it back to the old school metal type of lyrical imagery.
Yeah.
Okay. They went on to have more straight ahead rock sound with at least with the album after this, so I kind of dropped off at that point, but this record I thought was really great.
Another one I need to listen to and put into my library and check out over this next week here. Yeah, absolutely, I need to do that.
I'm surprised I never offered that up to you, Jeff. The Sword, that record, the 06 record, because that's a good record. Freya is the one song I definitely remember.
Okay.
And remember that was like that when like almost like punk bands were starting to do metal, and it almost taking it back to like you just talked about, like old metal kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like Early in Man was kind of a band like that.
Yeah.
It was just two dudes, and it was like they're kind of a punk band, but they later turned on like a metal band and got a full like metal. It wasn't just the guitar and drummer anymore, but the Swords that record's really good.
Nice.
And their drummer has one of the more unique names I've heard as a band member, Trivet Wingo.
Sounds like a wrestler.
Yeah, a wrestler or a Pokemon character.
Yeah, really.
All right, Eric. Well, what's your number two?
Number two. This, first of all, like, I just want to say this is the last year before I had kids. So I was still really into music and keeping up with it then. Like, I still do now. But like, I don't know why I just said that, but like this record reminds me of 06 a lot. Like, Sarah and I bought this together and we listened to it constantly in the car. Built to Spill's record, You in Reverse. And again, like not unlike Sonic Youth, like this was kind of a change for them as a band and their sound. Like prior to this You in Reverse, my favorite Built to Spill album was the previous one, Ancient Melodies of the Future, which was a lot of Doug March's like best love songs. It was really experimental for them, like compared to their older stuff. It was had a lot more electronics involved, like electronic sound. This one just goes kind of more back to their like straightforward rock stuff, like Neil Young's best songs, like a Hurricane, Cinnamon Girl. Because Doug March has been compared to Neil Young quite a bit because kind of the way he sounds like a ghost, Mark, a little bit. No, just kind of that high pitch, like Paul Bearer is down here in the basement with me. But it's really Neil Young influence, which, you know, he is quite a bit, but it's also like a lot of late 70s influence, like Television, big time. And Wire, I would say. But it also gets back to like his more like introspective lyrics. He's got to be one of the most like trapped in his own head writers in modern music, in my opinion. Like, I would hate to hang out with that guy probably in real life because I think he'd have a hard time making decisions. Have a hard time like being around other people. Like, I respect that because he makes good music, but like this record is big on that. But the music on this just kicks, and it's he's a really, really good guitar player, and some of his best guitar works on this album. Just the opening track, Going Against Your Mind, Conventional Wisdom, Gone's a great song, a great friggin' song. But yeah, bless you. But yeah, You in Reverse. What a great Jeff, cut that. No, I'm just kidding.
No, nothing's getting cut.
But one of my favorite albums of the past 20 years. And yeah,
nice.
It's a great one.
Again, another album I need to put in my library and check out for sure.
Yeah. They're playing Bethlehem, Jeff, this week, I believe.
Are they really?
At Music Fest, yeah.
Well, I'm not going to see them because I can't do anything till Election Day, guys. Nothing. I can't do anything.
Nothing but knocking on doors.
Exactly. Knocking on doors, meeting
kissing hands, just shaking babies.
Yes.
Ruining people's days.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
just trying to relax in their house.
I ruin a lot. They see me on their Ring cameras. Say, oh boy, who's this dummy? All right. Well, my number two, I'm going with Lamb of God's Sacrament. Was released in August that year. Eric, I remember you and I like couldn't wait for this album to come out. Yep. Huge Lamb of God fans. We've seen them so many times live. I'm wearing their fucking shirt right now, for God's sake, from the recent show that we went to. But this album was the top selling metal album of 2006. Received album of the year from Revolver magazine as well. But like the ironic thing about this album, and Eric, you can attest to this, some of the greatest Lamb of God songs, like Walk With Me in Hell, Again We Rise, Foot to the Throat, and even Requiem. But then it's got like their most popular song, Redneck, which they close with all the time. And it's like, we don't need to see this. We can just leave the show right before they play Redneck. And it's really ironic because it's one of my least favorite songs, which is actually probably their most popular song from a mainstream perspective. But this album just killed in terms of the riffs, the guitar riffs. And from a production standpoint, you could tell this is where, and I hate to use this word, but the production matured so much where it came together. Guitar tone, bass tone, you had the drum tones, it all came together. This I think it's one of their more underrated albums, in my opinion. I don't know what your thoughts are, Eric, on it. And Mark, I'm not sure if you've heard this album at all, like from front to back, but fantastic. It's my number 2.
Should I just do my best? My number 1.
I ruined it. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Well, no, Mark, you go ahead, and
No. Go ahead.
You want me? Okay.
Yeah, topic.
My number 1 is. I was going to do Converge, No Heroes. Great record.
Yeah.
I was going to throw it in here somewhere. I put it aside because I figured you'd have Sacrament on here. By the way, a blistering record, much like Dillinger Escape Plan stuff. Jacob Band, Kurt Ballard, just Heartache, Hellbound, No Heroes, the title track. Oh my God, it's a sick record. Jane Doe's an awesome record, but I actually prefer No Heroes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. But Sacrament, it's their first like most inward album. Like their first 3 records are basically straightforward metal about death, despair, war. It's and you talk about the production. I mean, go back and listen to New American Gospel. My God, it sounds like tin cans rattling in a basement. Like it's not great. And I know Randy's lyrics are like really low in the mix and like hard, pretty raspy and harsh. It was by design.
He learned by Sacrament how to actually do like fry screams and just he learned how to scream properly.
Well, and I remember buying New American Gospel when it came out. When I was living in I went down South Philly and bought it when it came because he said he was a big fan of, like, he was a thrash metal guy, and his vocal stylings was from Cheap Beer and Cigarettes, and I'm like, all right, I have to check these guys out. I love the name. I'm all in. But even the next record, Palaces, is pretty rough, the production wise. I mean, Devin Townsend does a good job, but like it's Steve Austin did the first record. Both awesome like producers and like and musicians in their own right, but like not a ton of money. And then Ashes, they get there, but Sacrament is the one where they're really like, oh my God, this is like a real band. Like this is a real metal band that's going to have a future. They sound great. And like I said, it's a lot more inward. Like Pathetic is about depression and delusion. Redneck is about hating the music business. Walk With Me in Hell is kind of a funny one. Like Walk With Me in Hell is a great opener, but like Mark Morton wrote that, and it's about like his wife and like having her next to him going through hard times. But you hear the song, you're like, that's not,
exactly.
I would not expect that to be the meaning behind the song. And just bangers all over the board. Foot to the Throat, Descending, Black and the Curse of the Sun is my favorite song, maybe of theirs all time. Only saw him do it once live, but that's a sick record. And honestly, it is. You're right. It's when they finally got polished, but not too polished, like Load by Metallica, that piece of shit. We talked about it.
Polished turd.
Polished turd, But that's my favorite album of that year.
All right, very good. That's a great number 1. My number 2, Mark. What is your number 1?
Before I get into my number 1, I just want to make a couple of comments on Lamb of God. Actually, so I didn't like that band for a long time. The last time I saw Slayer, Lamb of God played right before them, and we were just hanging out outside the whole time. We didn't even watch them. And now I kind of regret it. Because of how you guys have talked them up, and when I got my car, it had Sirius XM, and I started listening to Liquid Metal pretty regularly, and they play Lamb of God all the time. And I really kind of started getting into them more through listening to that channel. I'm still not at the point where I've been listening to full albums or whatever, but I'm getting there.
It's fair. That's fair. I like it.
No, I think I just didn't get into them because they were definitely playing a more modern style of metal that didn't really appeal to me for a long time, but it's been growing on me. And so whereas I wouldn't listen to a band like them or Gojira by choice before, now I would. Now I can get into it. Nice. And I mean, I always appreciated Randy interviews that I've seen with him and the sentiments that he's stated about politics and whatever. So I was always on board with them from that perspective. So But I do have to say I am disappointed with their recent logo change. I preferred it when it looked
I
like
hate it. I hate it.
This is it, right?
It's just really plain and generic. I mean, I know they didn't like it because they thought it looked like the logo for a hookah bar or a Mediterranean restaurant,
Or
but
Mediterranean restaurant.
yeah, but I think they kind of had that logo before those places started becoming more in vogue, maybe, or more into the mainstream consciousness. And
Yeah.
I just thought it was like that was their stamp. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if Anthrax just decided to change their logo and just the word Anthrax. Why? It's like it's like Mike Love from the Beach Boys once said, "Don't fuck with the formula." my favorite.
Yes.
biggest douche in rock history.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's like when Taco Bell changed their logo to what it is now, when it was like the Southern Fiesta feel, and now it's just Taco Bell. There's nothing about it that's like festive or fun,
right?
Or even like even reminds you of tacos, for that matter.
Yeah.
That was my take, Jeff. When I saw the new shirt at the show, I was like, I don't like that. No, it's plain. It's like a strip mall logo.
It's like fine. It's not offensive or anything, but it's just just a shadow of what it once was, I guess. All right.
Yeah. What's your number one? Yeah.
Number one is Pink by Boris. Boris is
I kind of thought you would. Yeah, I kind of thought you'd do this. You're a Boris guy.
Yeah, they're from Tokyo, Japan. This album, it technically came out in 2005, but that was in Japan. You couldn't get into the States until 2006, so I'm calling it a 2006 album. That's when I first heard it, and yeah, it's 2006 in my mind. Southern Lord Records put it out in the States. And Boris has also released records on Relapse, Sacred Bones, Sargent House, and they have their own record label called Fangs Anal Satan.
Ooh,
it's a great name.
Yeah,
I mean, just
yeah, wonderful name for their label. Band's named after the Melvin song from the Bullhead album. And then they're like clearly influenced by the Melvins early on, but they're a very experimental band. Each of their albums is sort of like its own concept, I guess, but it all still sounds like Boris. They kind of dabble in like psychedelic rock, punk, noise, minimalism, sludge, drone, kind of all over the place, but it's cohesive. It doesn't sound like 10 separate bands.
Yeah.
Which, in some bands, when they get experimental like that, it can sound like, and I generally don't like, but Boris just does it flawlessly. This particular album, very heavy garage rock influence, but more like Guitar Wolf, also from Japan, or maybe like the first Helicopters album, Super Shitty to the Max. Just really raucous and up tempo, and everything about it is just you listen to it and it just gets you psyched. Just the drumming is perfect with the music. Wata, she's a female guitar player in that band. She just absolutely rips. She puts most men to shame. She just and then the bass player plays when they perform, he plays a dual neck guitar with like a bass and guitar in the same.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's just a killer record.
Another one that I got to put in my album or in my library. I got to put this one in there and listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend it, kind of skimming through the different tracks, because it starts off with a very ambient shoegazy kind of track, kind of reminiscent of Jesu, Justin Broderick from Godflesh's more poppy side project, or My Bloody Valentine or something like that. And then the second track kicks in and it's just like full throttle rock after that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I need that. I don't know this album. I'm gonna have to listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you right now, the production style is very much like it was recorded in the Red. So it's really,
okay.
Yeah, really kind of distorted sounding. So that might be an adjustment at first, but it's one of those albums that it rewards you the more you listen to it.
They're the first band I ever heard the term drone, and then I heard their music and I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah,
I understand. Like, yeah. And by the way, Jeff, I'm gonna use Fangs Anal Satan as my name going forward on the podcast.
Great, fantastic, great.
It's a fantastic name. I love it.
Viewers on YouTube are gonna love that. Yes, it's great. All right, well, my number one, I'm getting to is my favorite band, and it is an album that perfected a formula that the metalcore scene, I think, was not only kind of like looking for, but they just had this entire package of this album. And again, it just kind of perfected what metalcore was in 2006, and that is Killswitch Engage's As Daylight Dies. They had been building this formula since the early 2000s, with the end of Heartache, and then with Howard Jones coming in after Jesse Leach ended up leaving the band, and it brought a new element vocally to the band. But then with Adam Dukowich and Joel Strotzel just honing in, I think, on not only just riffs, but their harmonies as well. The harmonies, like within the actual riffs themselves. I think a lot of metalcore bands were searching for like an album kind of like this to write, and it was just in my mind like it is the perfect metalcore album, and that metalcore anthem of My Curse. Have you heard that song by Killswitch, My Curse? No. Like that is like the metalcore theme, not just from 2006, but basically of that metal genre. Kind of just hitting its peak there. Just outstanding songwriting, like emotional authenticity throughout, again with Howard's lyrics, and them just becoming in a lot of ways the face of metalcore in 2006. So As Daylight Dies from Killswitch Engage, that's my number one. You guys got to check it out sometime. I know you're not necessarily into the metalcore scene too much, but it's goddamn, it's a great album.
Yeah, give it a listen.
Yeah,
I've probably heard songs off of it because I've seen them with you numerous times.
Yes.
I've never listened to any of their records, but I've seen them, I think, 3 times with you.
Yeah, because they opened for Lamb of God when we saw them once. I know. They opened for Slayer too. They opened for Slayer as well. Yeah, just My Curse, The Arms of Sorrow, and like This Is Absolution. Fucking bangers, man. They are just like fantastic. Like Adam Dukowich is such a technician. So is Joel Strotzel. Great guitarist. So that's my number one. Got to put it in your album and listen, guys.
It's funny.
Your album, your library. Why do I keep saying that? Anyway,
whenever you say Howard Jones, I always think of the old white dude from the UK.
Yeah.
I need an everlasting
exactly.
love.
They should really get him as a singer now.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I'll tell you, the rest of the night I'm going to be going, oh.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me of. Have you guys ever heard of the '80s rock band called Fastway?
Yeah,
I don't think so. No
songs. Yeah.
So basically, Motorhead's original guitar player, Fast Eddie Clarke, when he left Motorhead, he started Fastway, and they were more more mainstream hard rock band. I didn't find out until a couple years ago that the singer of Fastway later was the singer of Flogging Molly.
Really? All right.
Yeah, I thought was really strange because Flogging Molly is more like Celtic folk punk kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? How do you go from Fastway to this? I mean, it's cool, good for him,
Yeah, absolutely, man.
The pictures of Fastway are great. The band pics.
I gotta check them out. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
What are they like? Oh my gosh. I just searched them up. Holy cow.
I mean,
this is great.
The one dude looks like the guitar player for Kiss, the guy that took over for Ace.
Oh, Vinny Vincent.
Yeah.
Yes. For the one that was in Lick It Up video. Is it video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one guy looks like he's from Mr. Big.
Yes,
Like
he
this,
does.
yeah.
I do have to say the first Fastway album, self-titled one, it's got some ripping tracks on
Yeah.
it.
Does it? Okay. I'm gonna check
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely like major Led Zeppelin influence in the vocals.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, guys, another successful music-based podcast here at the Philadelphia Sports Table Podcast
right.
Show. We
Yeah,
did it.
I love
Did it.
these. I love these best ofs, but the next one is my favorites. The worst stuff.
This is actually part one, folks. This is
Yes.
part one
Love
of
the worst ofs.
2006. The worst of is going to be coming to you in the future. The worst of 2006, the worst albums. We're going to be getting to that. And that one's going to be fun. That's going
How
to
do
be
we limit
great.
it to just 5?
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Could be 105.
Might go 10 deep on this one.
Yeah.
There's some bad ones. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we teased that, and that's going to do it for us. Any final thoughts, Mark?
No.
No, he's like, I'm done with this. I'm done. Let's go to bed. No.
No, he is.
Now, Eric.
He's on the West Coast. He has plenty of time
That's
to
right.
go watch Jingle All the Way when he's done here.
Oh, that's
know.
right.
Yeah.
Go watch the inspiration that is Howard Langston.
Yeah. Yeah, we get a jump start on the Christmas spirit.
Well, Mark, you're wearing a Sheets hat, unfortunately.
Okay, so I just
And-
want to say I'm a Wawa person.
Good.
I always have been, but my niece works for Sheets, and she got me this hat, and I felt it was proper. I'm trying to represent like both sides of the spectrum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Meanwhile, Eric, you've got a John shirt on that's got the Wawa logo. Yeah, there you go. Thank goodness we brought some balance to this here. Woo!
I feel like an idiot today. I was actually at a Wawa wearing this shirt, and I was like, "Oh man, I hope people don't think I'm like a huge fan of
Oh,
Wawa."
jeez. Yay, Wawa! Yay!
I know.
Yes.
You're gonna buy anything, sir? No, I'm just hanging out. This is awesome.
I'm just hanging out. I'm looking at the hoagies. Yeah.
It's like going to see Lamb of God wearing a Lamb of God shirt.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
you
be
like
that-
them too.
Don't be that guy. Don't
Yeah.
be that guy.
If we learned anything from PCU.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us on this PST special show. Make sure you're following us on the socials out there, PhiladelphiaSportsTable.com. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. That's going to do it for us. We'll catch you next time.